So I'm going to give a little brief introduction to Megan. I'm not sure if she needs this introduction, but for those of you that are quite new to this business, I think you'll need to know who Megan is. So Megan Hosier, she's age 26. She's from Leicester, born and bred, I understand, Megan?
Yeah, big up the Midlands.
We've got a lot of people from Leicester, actually, so big up.
Yeah. Yes, then, I like that.
Nice. Also, so Megan's tagline, I suppose, is she's the youngest and fastest diamond orchid, jasper star and amethyst star. Am I right?
Yeah, I was at that time. I have been beat for diamond and jasper since. No one's beat me on amethyst yet. You know, hopefully they do. I'd absolutely love to see someone beat me, but for the time being, I'm going to cling on to that title. So
that one, definitely. And if I'm correct, you know when they had the top MLM earners list, were you in the top 500?
I am now, yeah.
500 list.
I always feel weird saying that, but yeah, I am.
It's phenomenal. I mean, at the age of 26, that's pretty impressive, I've got to say. So yeah, pretty cool. I'm going to get right into it because we've got a lot of questions to go through today. But I want you to start off telling us, Megan, just tell us a little bit about life before FM.
Oh my God, it feels like literally does feel like a lifetime ago. Like all I know now is FM. Yeah. So I've been doing FM 2 years. If I keep touching my phone, it's just because I'm turning, like my messages coming through like one after the other, so it blocks the screen. But yeah, just ignore me. So I live in Leicester with my partner Jay. We've got a little girl Ivy who's now 3. When I first started FM, she was about 1.5. I worked in a call centre. I did work in a sales job anyway. I used to be that annoying person that rang you about your PPI. And after that, I used to help people write their will. Really, really morbid job, but I absolutely loved it. It was a great job. I loved it to bits. But after having Ivy, I could only work part-time because of childcare and things like that. It just made sense financially for me to do 3 days a week. So I worked Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. I had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off with Ivy. It was a well-paid job. You know, it wasn't amazing. It wasn't bottom of the road. It was probably kind of like middle of the road. And for a part-time wage, it was quite good. I won't lie. The issue that we had is when I was on maternity leave, so just before, we'd gotten a lot of debt. Not afraid to admit that. I think we got into about £14,000 worth of debt. When I got pregnant, I'm going kind of backwards here. I feel like I've done it the wrong way around, but anyway, we were in a lot of debt. We'd racked up credit card bills, loans, you name it, store cards, you name it, we had it. And even when I went back to work and I was earning a good wage, by the time I'd paid the rent, the council tax, and a bit off the credit cards, bearing in mind I was paying like the minimum that I possibly could, we just kind of was getting by. Like we didn't have any money to go on holiday. We didn't have any money to save for things. And there was times where I'd literally be awake at night thinking, like, how am I ever going to get out of debt? Like, even if I pay the minimum payment every month for the rest of my life, bearing in mind at this point I was 23, 24 years old, I would never, ever, ever have got out of debt. So we just, you know, we were happy. We had Ivy. We rent a house. It was a nice house. It was, you know, pretty average, but we were in a lot of debt, and it was just kind of getting to the point where we weren't going to get out of it. Like, to put it bluntly, there was no way we were ever going to get out of debt, and life was just kind of just going to carry on ticking by. You know, we go to work, we get paid, we pay the bills, and that's that. We do the same again the next month, the next month, the next month. Like, we just had a very, 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 I don't want to say to put anyone down, but a very average life. Like, there was nothing exciting about it, nothing amazing. It was just a very, very average Monday to Friday life type thing. And then FM came along and it just changed it all, really. It changed the game. But
yes,
I'm so glad I did find it. Like, I'm so glad. And yeah, it's changed my life. So I know it sounds cheesy, but it has.
Yeah. You've got to tell us the story of when was it that you first glanced upon an FM bottle?
I actually bought one of Ivy's childminder. So Ivy used to go to a childminders 1 day a week. My mum would have her the other 2 days because obviously my mum didn't pay me. My mum didn't charge me for childcare, so it was obviously a help. But she did go on a Monday, and she had them, and I was a bit kind of like, you know what, it's 15 quid. why not type thing, like let's just try one. I'd seen a few people on Facebook like doing them, and it never ever interested me. I was always just a bit like, oh, you know, what's that? Not really, just wasn't bothered. And when she had the samples in front of me, I was like, okay, well, I used to like Alien, I used to like Flower Bomb, but I only ever used to get a bottle of perfume probably once a year at Christmas off my mum or off Jay or whatever. So I thought, 15 quid, what's the harm? I'll get one. And the one that I got was 173. I ordered it. She didn't have it there and then. I ordered it and I got it a few days later. And I was actually hungover at the time. And I sprayed it on my dressing gown, on my sleeve, and I sat there like the whole day, like I just could not get over like how strong this perfume was. It smelled identical to the one that I'd associated it with. And it was just so strong. Like literally, like I said, I was hungover and I had my dressing gown, and the whole day I was just sniffing and sniffing. And I kept saying to Jay, like, babe, like, try this. Like, he was just like, what? This like perfume? What's the big fuss? But I was like, honestly, I was so shocked. And I was trying to get Jay to have one, but he was a bit like, oh no, like I've got loads of aftershave left over from Christmas, like, or birthday or whatever. He's like, I'm not bothered. Like, so I was like, right, I'm just gonna get you one. So I got him one, and then he was hooked as well. The lady who, what happened after that? I'm trying to think. So the lady, I went to like a Christmas fair thing. It was November, beginning of November or end of October, I can't remember. And the lady who had signed my childminder up was there. She was helping her do like a little perfume stall thing, because my childminder was really, really new to it herself, so she wasn't really sure. So the lady that signed her up was there. I was speaking to her, and I was just like saying about, I couldn't get over how good they were. I was amazed. And she just said to me, why don't you do a perfume party? She was like, you know, you've got friends, you've got your mum, you've got your aunties, your cousin, have a perfume party, see, you know, however well you do, I will give you that in free perfume, or we'll split the profit, or, you know, whatever it was that her idea was. I was going to do that. Then I ended up having a few drinks at this Christmas fete, and I was a little bit tipsy, let's just say, and I just kind of had a light bulb moment, and I just thought, why don't I just join? Like, why don't I just do it? I could sell these. I love them. I love the one that I've got. I've convinced Jay to get one. My mum would buy these. My friends would buy these. Like, why don't I just join? And then I just asked her and said, well, can I just join myself and do it myself? And she said, yeah. She signed me up, and like I say, the rest is history, really. But yeah, it was the best drunk decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Yeah. So that brings me to my next question. So you joined, right? What were your expectations? What did you think you were going to get from this business at that time?
Oh my God, I kind of said to Jay, I was like, you know what, if we make a couple of £100, like, it'll help out with Ivy's Christmas presents. I can go Nando's with my friends and not have to dip into my wages, or not have to, like, you know that feeling when someone asks you, like, oh, do you want to go here? And you're thinking to yourself, like, I've got 20 quid to last me for the rest of the week. I can't really afford to go, but I do really, really want to go. And then you just kind of like toying with yourself for ages, thinking, oh, shall I go? Shall I not? Oh. And then whatever. Or you end up going and putting it on a credit card, which is what I used to do. So I literally just thought, if I make a couple of £100, it will just help us out over Christmas. Like, that was my main thing in my head. Christmas. Like, just make as much as I can, make a bit of profit. As I said, I worked in an office with probably 50 people. Yeah. So that was in the back of my head, thinking I can sell these at work. Like, I never expected it to become a business. I never like I said, I loved my job. I never expected it to be something that would have enabled me to quit my job. Like, I just saw it as a quick fix to get 200 quid, basically.
Did you have any experience with MLM before?
Never. No. I'd been approached. I'd had, you know, the average messages that you get. A couple of my friends did the New Skin, the skincare one, and I did like their products. You know, they use their toothpaste. It's brilliant. My thoughts with New Skin was it wasn't for me. Like, a lot of people know me, but I've struggled with my skin for years. I've had adult acne. I've been on medication. I've spent, you name it, I've spent it on products, and I just don't have perfect skin. So for me to go online and be like, oh, look at this amazing face mask, like, oh, great, look, it just didn't look believable. So for me, that was always just like, no, it's not me. Again, with Skinny Coffee and weight loss products, nothing against the products, but again, I'm not a size 6, so it just doesn't look believable. Like, when FM came along, it was kind of like, well, anyone can, you know, I don't need to look a certain way or be a certain size or have perfect skin or perfect teeth or be a model, or, you know, it's perfume. That everyone wears perfume, whether it's whether someone's 15 years old or 95 years old, man or woman, everyone likes smelling nice. So you don't need to be a certain size. It didn't matter. That's what appealed to me so much about FM, is you just got this massive target market or target audience. But yeah, no experience with MLM. I literally jumped in completely blind, let's just say, I didn't know anything about it. In fact, this is how much I didn't know about network marketing. The first couple of girls in my area, when I started doing well, and I put a post up like, oh my God, I've sold 100 bottles in my first week or something like that. A couple of girls who live near me messaged me like, oh my God, like, this is great, Meg, can I do this? I said no, because I didn't want them to steal my customers. I was like, no, this is my thing. Like, no, go find your own thing. I said no to people joining because I didn't want them to steal my customers. That's how much I didn't know about network marketing. So yeah, it just goes to show that nobody has, well, not, I know some people have done previous businesses, which is great, but you don't have to have experience or, let's just say, any knowledge at all to do well in it, really.
Because a lot of people join and they're like, I literally don't know anything about MLM. And I think you've got to be honest, there are certain leaders that have done it previously for years.
Yeah.
Honest and credit, credit to you for the fact that you literally did start the whole thing from scratch. So you can, honestly say, look, I've had no experience.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Thank you very much. So tell us a little bit about your very first month. What did you do? Sell, recruit? What was your first month like?
So my first month I just sold, literally just sold. So I didn't know anything about recruiting. I didn't, like I said, I didn't know anything about network marketing. I joined, so I went into work. I was so excited, went into work, and I sent a big email out to every single employee, even the directors. I did it on my lunch break, so I won't get in trouble. But yeah, I sent an email out to every single employee. I've started this really exciting thing. I'm going to be able to get perfumes. They're alternatives and they're cheap and blah, blah, blah. Just this big overspill of words and jumble, because I was so excited. It was just rah. It was like word vomit. It was just reeling out. Do you know how many replies I got out of probably 300 employees? 2. I had 2 people say, oh yeah, it's my mum's birthday next week, or oh yeah, let me know what you've got, I'll have a look. Like, nobody was interested. There wasn't, like, looking back now, nobody was interested. The next day I borrowed my upline sample kit, because, as I said previously, I was broke. I couldn't afford to buy a sample kit. That's how, I remember trying to ask Jay, like, please will you buy it for me? And even Jay was like, oh, I don't know, like, it's before Christmas, it's 60 quid. And even Jay was a bit like, oh, ask me at the end of the month when I get paid. Anyway, my upline did let me borrow her sample kit because she knew I worked in an office with a lot of people. I took it in and I sold 50 bottles. Just shows you the power of the samples. And it was before Christmas, so I did have a bit of an advantage, because I did start in the beginning of November, so it was the Christmas rush. You will hear Celia, you will hear any single leader bang on about the Christmas rush, and believe me, it is real. Like, we're not overhyping it, we're not over exaggerating it. Like, this is my 3rd Christmas with FM now, and every single year it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But anyway, coming off key, so I sold about 50 bottles. I then got Jay to take the sample case into his work the next day, and I think he sold about 25, 30. And I literally said to Jay, like, I remember actually standing outside in the garden, having a smoke, and just saying, this is going to be huge. Like, mark my words, this time next year I'll have us out of debt. And even he was a bit like, all right, calm down. Like, you maybe get a bit ahead of yourself type thing. But something in me, I just knew, like, at that moment, I just knew that this was going to be big. So I did start to panic a little bit, because I thought, oh, hang on, I've already sold to everyone I know now. Like, I've sold to my friends, I've sold to work, I've sold to Jay's work. Like, now what do I do? Because these people aren't going to need another perfume for a couple of, weeks, months, whatever. Like, how many bottles of perfume do you need? And that's when I had the idea of, I'm going to make an Instagram page. As I said, I'd seen a lot of people on Facebook retailing the products. I'd seen people on my Facebook doing FM, but I hadn't seen anyone on Instagram. So I just kind of thought, well, what's the harm? I'll give it a go. My best friend Tammy, she's a model. She's got about 35,000 followers, 38, between 35 and 40 anyway. She's got a lot of followers. And she'd had some off me, and she absolutely loved them as well. And I just said sorry to the box. Going mad. Oh God, I've just kicked something and then said sorry to that. Yeah, anyway, I'm a bit nervous. You can probably tell I'm waffling. But yeah, so I asked Tammy, she loved them, and I just said, would you mind just sticking this on your Instagram? Like, I really, really appreciate it. Just give me like a bit of a kickstart. She did, and my following grew. Like, I've got a lot to be thankful for Tammy for. Like, she did help me so much to get it off the ground. And I do appreciate that not everyone's got a best friend with lots of followers. However, everything I've done since then hasn't been Tammy. That's been me. Like, I've worked on, I think she got me my first like 1,000 followers. And I think from there, they've like told their friends, and other people have. Someone just said, you are amazing, it's okay to be thank you. I'm always nervous. Like, I can do so many lives and everything. Like, I'm sweating. You can't see because it's a jumper, but I'm like, I sweat, I shake, I talk shit. Like, I don't know what it is. I'm just not a natural public speaker.
Brilliant. No, you can't tell.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Wipe the sweat away. Yeah, so Tammy helped me out with getting my followers, and the orders just kept rolling in. Like, the orders were coming in fast. I was using reviews. Reviews are amazing. Like, if you can't get hold of samples, which I know has not been the best the last few months, reviews sell products. Like, trust me on that. When I first started, I used to sell samples for £1 each. That's how skint I was. I couldn't afford to send out samples for free to people because I didn't have the money. I used to send the samples out. I used to sell them for £1. At that point, they were 30p. I think now they're 35. You made 70p per one. Wasn't anything worth getting excited about. But every 10 samples I sold, I made £7. That just makes A, the faff of what doing it worthwhile. B, it covered like my postage and things like that. And C, it was getting these products out to people and making them aware of how good they were. Because if you think back to when I said I emailed everyone at work and no one gave a shit, and then I took the samples in and they all changed their mind like that, I knew that I needed to get more people to try them. But the easiest way to do that was with the samples. Samples are back next week, so trust me when I say utilise samples, because they are everything and they sell products, and so do reviews. Samples and reviews are your bread and butter to selling. Like, they've always worked for me, and I cannot recommend them enough. I completely forgot what the question was. So what did I do in my first month?
Yeah,
that was it. Yeah. So
yeah,
I sold and sold and sold on Instagram, and then it was Black Friday, so I sold even more. I had a girl message me around, I think it was about 2-3 weeks in, called Charlotte. She lived in Leeds, and I live in Leicester. She messaged me and just said, like, you're doing really, really well. Can I join? Can I do this? Now, I wasn't bothered about her stealing my customers because she lived in Leeds. So I was like, yeah, of course you can, hon. Like, come along. Didn't have a clue what I was doing. I literally said to the girl, look, I've only just joined myself. All I know how to do is sell. I don't know how the points work. I don't know how the commission works, but, you know, let's just work it out together. And we did. And then between us, I ended up hitting the top of the compensation plan. I hit 21% in my first month. And I think 26 or 27,000 of that was my own personal points. So amazing. I sold a shitload.
I remember you said you practically lived in the post office.
I did, yeah, I did. I was still working at this point, so I would literally go to work on the Monday. I'd come home, I'd eat my dinner, get Ivy bath, get her a dinner and everything, get her bath, do my orders on the laptop, get them all ordered ready for the next day. I'd pack orders up, I'd get up early in the morning, answer all the messages and stuff on Instagram, go to work. I'd be taking big Audi bags full of parcels to work with me on the bus, might I add, because I didn't drive. And then on my lunch break, I'd be going to the post office. Same again, get home, pack orders up. I was going to sleep at 1-2 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 7 and repeat. I also had a 1.5-year-old who didn't sleep very well. So I was a very, very, very tired mama. It was one of those points where I kind of thought to myself, like, this is great. I'm earning so much money. I'm loving these products. Everyone else is loving these products. But there has got to be an easier way of doing it than this, because I can't keep selling this amount of perfume every day or every month. I'm going to end up killing myself. Like, I was exhausted. It was great and I was buzzing, but I was tired and it was just getting a bit much. That's when I kind of started looking at the compensation plan, and I was like, well, if I recruit and I have a team and I help them to sell, we have to sell 30,000 points worth of products between the 30 of us, let's just say, and that's only 1,000 points each, rather than me having to do the full 30,000 myself. And then it kind of clicked for me that I was like, well, if I recruit a team, it's basically me doing less work but still getting paid the same or you know, maybe more than what I'm getting now. I knew how well I was doing from the opportunity. I'd showed people how well I was doing. I was posting pictures of my orders. I was posting pictures of me on the bus with my big bags full of parcels. Like, people could see that I was doing well. So when it then came to recruiting, people wanted in because I'd showed them firsthand, well, I can sell the products, so why can't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, and then that's when I kind of looked into recruiting. But originally when I started, I had no intention of ever growing a team. I was always like, no, I just want to sell. But I soon changed my mind.
I remember very clearly when I joined in March, and I had the same thought. I'm just going to sell. I can't be bothered with teams and all that. And I remember you send me voice messages saying, you need to recruit. And I was like, no. And then I remember the second month I did, and it just went mental. And you're like, oh, yeah, just recruit. So that's how I all the time.
I feel like, as well, it was because you were saying stuff like, well, how do I get the car? Like, I know that you've got a car, so how do I get the car? And I was like, well, if you want a car, like, you need a team. And that's when I was trying to get it across to you, like, you can have a car, like, by all means, but you will not get to Pearl on your own. Like, you need to. And I think that's when, again, you had that same light bulb moment that I had, and it just clicked.
Every time someone new starts the business and I tell them just start recruiting as soon as you can and you feel confident enough to, they have this thing where, but I don't know what I'm doing myself. And I always remember, so with me, people don't actually know, Megan is my upline, but I actually had another girl in between. Obviously, you know Megan. Now, she was clever because she didn't know much about the business, but she didn't let me go. She just said, do you know what? Hang on a minute. I'll get you in touch with Megan because she will tell you more. And I think the same thing happened with you, didn't it? Where the girl that sold you the perfume took you to her.
Yeah.
And I always tell everybody, be wary of who your people are recruiting. So if you've got a bit of a firecracker, just get hold of them and just show them the ropes. So yeah, people need to know that. Don't be scared, just do it. And then you'll always have help. There's always someone that will tell you what to do and how to do it and stuff. So
I feel like what people need to realise as well is, at the end of the day, if, say, for example, you're new to the business and you maybe feel not confident enough yet, or someone approaches you who could be, you know, your diamond. They could be the best thing that FM's seen in years. They could be the next Celia or the next Laura Kilshaw, or, you know what I mean? They could be, I'm not name dropping like that. Laura's probably one of the only people I'm aware of in Celia's team, because you keep it quite separate. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, even if somebody approaches you and you feel like you're not that confident yet, your upline will be happy that you've got somebody good in your team, because that's going to push you up, which in turn is going to push them up. So they will be more than happy to maybe give up a little. Like, if one of my newer team members messaged me and said, oh, my best friend's somebody who's just come out of Love Island, she's got 100,000 followers and she wants to join FM, but I don't really know what I'm doing, I'd be happy to help that person, because it will help my team member, and it will also, in turn, it will help me. I wouldn't mind giving up my time for that, because it's one of them. It's kind of like win-win, where everyone's going to help it, everyone's going to do well out of it. So even if you don't feel confident enough yet to recruit, or you're a bit like on the fence, like, oh, shall I start recruiting, shall I not? Speak to your upline, because I guarantee your upline will be more than happy to do calls like this, to do a one-on-one with, like, say you've got 3 new starters, they have like a little Zoom with you to go through things, and they'll hold your hand and they'll basically show you how to do it. So next time you can do it yourself. Like, and they're not there to do it for you every time, but they will do it this, you know, the first time, so you know what you're doing, and then crack on type thing.
Yeah. I was going to ask you actually also, what advice would you give someone that struggles to sell?
I don't know. Social media is massive. As I said, my 2 bread and butter, sorry, I've got a lighter in my hand. The bread and butter for me is samples and reviews. Social media is huge. You need to constantly, I call it watering your tree. So you constantly need to be growing your audience. You constantly need to be engaging with new followers. If you've got 500 followers or 200 followers or 100 people on your friends list or whatever, and you're being the most consistent person, you're posting every single day, twice a day, 3 times a day, you know, whatever you're posting, but you're still posting to those same 100 people all the time, nothing's going to change. You know, you might get the odd person that's like, oh, mine's run out, can I get another one, or whatever, but nothing's going to change. You need to constantly be watering that tree. You need to be reaching out to new people. You need to be following new people. You need to like people's posts. You need to comment on people's posts. I do it every morning, like every single morning. unless I'm late, but most of the time, most days, I will spend probably 15 minutes just going through Instagram, and I will literally go through like the popular page or my homepage, and I'll like stuff, and I'll react to people's stories, and I'll just basically show people that I'm there, because in turn they will react to my stuff, and it's all about algorithms. So people are going to see my post. I'll post a picture of Ivy, and people see that. Then my next post might be a deal on fragrances, but people are going to see that because I've spent that time engaging with them. They've engaged back, and bam, I'm at the top of their feed. Like, algorithms are so important, and engaging is so important. Speak to everyone. Like, I posted in my group the other day, I don't know if any of you are in there, if you've seen it, but my window cleaner literally rang me and said, I don't want you to think I'm prying when I do your windows, but I did notice that you sell those perfumes. I want some for my niece, my other niece, and myself. He came round, within 5 minutes he'd bought 4 bottles off me. Like, just don't be afraid to speak to people. A massive one that I always do is I spray the shit out of myself when I go anywhere. Like, I'm like, literally, get my bottle. Like, I'm a serial sprayer, but at the end of the day, like, that cost me 16 quid, so I'm not really bothered about how long it lasts me, because I'll just buy another one. Same sort of thing. But yeah, you get the idea. Spray yourself so much, even if you're going to Tesco, if you're going on a date, if you're going on a girls' night, anywhere you go, spray yourself. And if you're going on a girls' night or you're going out for the day, take your perfume with you and top yourself up on. When people say to you, oh, you smell nice, oh, funny you should say that, here's my business card, or I actually sell perfume for a living, like, do you like the one that I'm wearing, because that's the alternative to ... Or, you know, are you on Instagram, you can follow my page. You're on Facebook, I can send you a list. Keep a list in your bag. Like, I go to the post office, when I drop my parcels off, I've got a drop and go account, so I literally drop my bags off, leave them there. There's been so many times I'll just think, I know what, I'm going to stick a cheeky list in there. Next time I go, oh, Becky wants this, Sue wants that, Janice, and there you go, you've got 5 orders again. So speaking to people, it doesn't necessarily need to be people you know. I don't know those ladies in the post office. Like, they're not my friends, they're not on my social media, but they buy off me because I smell nice and I go into the post office, or I'll put a list in. Just don't be afraid to talk to people. That can be anything. A good one, I thought this was hilarious the other day. Lynn, a lady that I know, Lynn, bless her, she's in her 70s. I absolutely love Lynn to bits. She was saying that when she goes into a cafe, she will literally sit there with her sample book, like rearranging the samples. She'll just move that one there, that one there. She's not rearranging it. She's just showing people what she's got. So people are like, oh, what's that? And she starts conversations with people. I'm not the most confident person. Like, I'm a bit, I don't know, I probably wouldn't start a conversation with a random person in a cafe, but it depends how ballsy you're feeling, you know. Go for it. What's the worst that can happen?
I think you had a taxi driver with you once. The guy that you see from the post office, I remember you saying, your taxi driver, was it?
Yeah, Uber driver. Yeah, sold to my Uber driver. I sell to everyone. Like, literally, my dad sells to me. My dad works in a building site, so I literally will give my dad a free bottle of aftershave and be like, right, Dad, can you just spray yourself loads with that? And then when people tell you smell nice, there's your conversation starter. Oh, my daughter actually sells them. Here's a list. My dad sells loads to me just like that. Just by people knowing. I feel like with fragrance, I predominantly do sell the fragrances. You might have gathered from this live. I know we have got other products that are amazing, and I do use a lot of them, and I do love a lot of them. But my niche is fragrances. In the village that I live, I'm known as like the perfume lady, because that's what I want. That's what I want to be known for. I want to just stick to a few certain things. But yeah, so just speak to people. Make sure that people are aware of what you're doing, because if people don't know, guess what? They're not going to buy off you. And be consistent. This same goes for recruiting. Be consistent. If you're consistent every single day, you're posting offers, you're active in your group or your page, whatever it is that you've got, people see that. Like, I've been doing this 2 years. I had a guy that I went to school with message me the other day, Meg, can you send me a list, please? He doesn't comment on any of my posts. He doesn't like any of my posts. He's never bought an aftershave off me. Never once showed an interest in what I do. Never. And he messaged me the other day asking for a list. So you're telling me that he's not been seeing my posts for the last 2 years? Of course he has. It took him 2 years to buy one, but he's bloody buying one. Be consistent and post, because you feel like you're being spammy, or you feel like you're being annoying. You think, oh, everyone's seen that post on Monday. Well, they probably didn't. Like, I don't see every single person's post every single day. I miss so many things. If I'm busy, if I'm driving, I miss things. So if I see it again 3 days later, that's the first time for me seeing it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, posting a lot is massive, and speaking to people and consistency. And then I feel like the next question is going to be, what are my tips for recruiting? Is that right? Yeah. So again, same as selling, don't be afraid to ask the question. Like, I have so many leaders within my team that are absolutely smashing it. I've got so many girls that are earning 4 figures, 5 figures. I've got girls that are earning 5 figures a month, like 26-year-old girls, like Paige, 21. She's absolutely killing it, and she's 21 years old. Like, that just blows my mind. It's insane. But some of my best leaders were my customers. They were people that originally started out by buying perfumes off me. They loved exactly the same as my story. They tried it, they loved it, they knew that they could sell it, and bam, there you go. The exact same thing with Hannah, with Luke, with Kira Lee, with Becky, with Emma, with Sam, Harmon. I'm not going to go on all day, but literally my best leaders that are earning so much money all started out as customers. So if you've got somebody that buys off you regularly, or not even regularly, like if someone buys off you a couple of times, or one that you've probably all had this, where you've got a customer who buys for themselves, and then a few weeks later they message you and goes, oh, my dad wants this, my mum wants that, and my brother wants that, or they want to order for other people. Just say to them, literally, why don't you just sign up? You get an extra 30%. You get 30% discount anyway, and in your first 10 days, you get an extra 30% discount. Even if you just want to buy for yourself and your family, you're getting that discount. 9 times out of 10, they'll say yes, and 9 times out of 10, they will end up buying more than the 3 than they originally wanted, because they're either A, saving money, or they're thinking, well, I might as well. Like, how many times do you get an email from ASOS or Pretty Little Thing or Boohoo or any of these other fast fashion brands saying, oh, we've got 30% off this weekend, and you buy stuff that you weren't going to buy just because it's got 30% off? Same goes with FM. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask the question. Post consistently. Attraction marketing is huge. I don't like the phrase fake it till you make it. I personally think that's a load of bollocks, and people see straight through it. Post your success. Like, so I don't know how to word this, but I phrase it when I do lives normally and just say, not everybody wants a Mercedes. Not everybody wants a Mercedes. Not everybody wants to quit their job. Not everybody wants to earn 5 figures. Not everybody wants to go to the Maldives. Like, some people would literally, like when I joined, would literally be happy with 200 quid. They'd be happy with 50 quid to take their kids out, 50 quid to get their eyelashes done. If you're speaking to a 21-year-old girl, she wants to go and get her eyelashes done, or she wants a fake tan, or she wants a new dress for the weekend. If you're speaking to a mum of 4, she probably wants 100 quid to take her kids to the zoo. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody wants something different. And posting your successes, even if you think that that's so small, even if you've sold 2 bottles and you think, oh, no one's going to care, post it. Again, what have you got to lose? Like, post your successes, post your team successes, post your upline, your crossline. Anybody within FM, if you see one of my posts and think, you know what, I think that looks really good, or Celia's post, or I don't know, anyone's post, and you think, I think that's really nice, I'm really happy for her, share it, put it on your story, put it on your Facebook, and because people love to see that. Like, I love to see it. Girls in other businesses, P. Louise, the makeup lady, she doesn't do network marketing, but I absolutely love it when she posts that she's just made £1 million, or she's done this, or because a lot of girls like to see girls win. I know there's guys in the business too, but girls like to see girls win. So post success, because that's what people want to see. Post your orders. This again kind of goes hand in hand with sales, but posting your orders is a really, really good way of, again, showing people that other people are buying them. They're thinking, oh, if all these people are buying those perfumes, what's the crack? You know, why so many people buying them? Right, I need that. FOMO, they've got fear of missing out. They're thinking that everyone else has got something that they've not got. They then want to buy, or again, they're thinking, well, Celia's selling loads of them, but if she can sell them, I can sell them. And there you go, you've either got a team or a sale. Win-win. That's probably like my main things for recruiting. Attraction marketing, being so consistent. Like, I know it's cheesy, and you've probably heard every single leader in the business say it, but people are always watching. They are always watching. I've had a girl message me today after my stories that's followed me since day one. Like, she's literally followed me for almost 2 years, and I post probably weekly. Okay, not so much recently because I've been really, really busy and I've been trying to do things behind the scenes, but my Instagram has been a bit neglected. But on average, I will post weekly, even daily sometimes, about the opportunity. She's seen my posts for all that time, and she's now thinking, right, this is the right time to join. So if that isn't proof that people are always watching, I really don't know what is.
Definitely. Right, how do you normally answer? Because honestly, if I got £1 for every time somebody said this, I wouldn't even need FM. There are so many people doing it. What do you say to that?
Oh, I hear that all the time. I've got a few responses. The first one is that we're about to open in God knows how many different countries. So you can't tell me that Australia is saturated because it hasn't even opened yet. You can't tell me that America's saturated because it hasn't opened yet. You can't tell me that Dubai is saturated because guess what? It isn't open yet. There's so many countries that are literally going to be ground level. Like there is no one there doing it. Like you've got a better chance with Australia than I had when I joined.
Yeah.
And look how much money I make without sounding braggy. Like look how well I've done, and I joined 15 years into the UK.
Yeah,
that's the first thing. Secondly, I don't think that there's too many people doing it. Like I really, really don't. I still get people message me and say, "What's FM?"
Yeah.
So if there's still people out there that don't know what FM is, I'm sure a lot of you do. I can see a lady nodding. I can't see her name because my bar's across it. But I can see a lady going, yes, yes. But yeah, like there's so many people that haven't heard of FM. There's so many examples. Like think about Heinz ketchup. Every single shop in the UK, probably in the world, to be honest, sells Heinz ketchup. Does it not?
Yeah.
And do they sell Heinz ketchup? Yes, because everybody buys Heinz ketchup. It's the exact same. Like then, once Tesco's not going to go, well, we don't want to sell Heinz because Asda sells it. They're not. Like it's something that every single toothpaste, the bread aisle. Have you ever bought down? Everyone sells bread. Well, have you ever been down the bread aisle? There's about 70 different varieties, but they're still all there. They're still all making it. Like Warburton's, how long's it been around for? That's another one. I seen a quote today actually which I absolutely loved, and it said what if Kylie Jenner never bought out her lip kit because everyone has a makeup line? They do. Everyone, you go in Selfridges, how many different brands of makeup is there? How many different types of brands of lipstick is there? And this girl's a billionaire because of a lip kit that she bought out way after everyone else did. So there's no such thing as too many people doing something. Like there is room for everyone. And my final point on that, again, I've got so many different arguments because there's so many reasons that I just don't agree with it, is this was something that Holly said earlier, and it just clicked. It just made so much sense. Was FM is more well known now. You know, I'm not going to shy away from that. There is a lot of people doing it. However, when I first joined, I struggled to get the brand out there. I had to send samples. I had to kind of really push the samples. I had to do all the fiddly things and getting people, convincing people basically that these products were good and that they were worth their weight in gold type thing. Whereas now, okay, not everyone's tried an FM perfume, but I can more or less guarantee that 90% of people, or maybe not, maybe like 80% of people, will know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can vouch for FM perfumes. You might not have tried one, but your mum's sister's friend has them, and she can say, oh yeah, I've had those FM perfumes, they're really good. Or they're going to know somebody who knows somebody who's tried them. However, let's just say I didn't do FM. I've never done FM before in my life. If I was buying fragrances off some random girl on the internet, and then my mum started selling FM, well, I'm going to start going to my mum. There's going to be people that buy off my mum that maybe wouldn't buy off me, for example, or they wouldn't buy off other people, but they will go to her. Everyone's got a different friendship group. Everyone's got a different work colleagues, a different social media following. Like there's so much potential, and I genuinely don't feel like there's too many people doing it at all. Like I genuinely don't. I feel like I would rather join FM that's got a product that flies off the shelves, it's constantly out of bloody stock, and is a well-known product, than start a business that nobody's ever heard of with products that no one's ever heard of and try and push them. Like that's coming from me. Like if I had to start again from scratch tomorrow, would I join FM that's got an established product that sells, like it clearly sells, there's no doubt about that, it sells, or go and start a business that's got brand new products, brand new to the market, there's not many people selling it, but you're selling something that no one's ever heard of? Like I don't know if that's just me, but I would 100% go for FM over and over again. So yeah, there's a few different reasons there, but my honest opinion, there's not too many people doing it.
It's so unheard of, in fact. I think sometimes when we're in it, that's all we see. It's like when you've just bought a car, you see that car everywhere, don't you?
Yeah.
So in this business, you're going to see it everywhere. You're following.
I feel like as well, you will see it a lot more because, say, like for example, a lot of people who do FM are in work from home groups.
Yeah.
They're all in the same sort of Facebook group. So you are going to see predominantly FM if you're looking for it. If you weren't in work from home groups, you probably wouldn't really see it as much. The same for Instagram. Like a lot of people, and like I don't do this as much now as much as I did, whereas a lot of people will follow their whole team. They'll just to be nice, do a bit of support. Like FM accounts are following a lot of other FM accounts, so when you're going through your news feed, it just feels like all you're seeing is other people doing it, but really it's because of who you're following. Like yeah, so it's hard. Like I don't get me wrong, like, there are a lot of people doing it, but it's an amazing product. Like it literally, they can't get it in quick enough. Like they can't get it in as quick as we're selling it. Like, does that not tell you that there's a hype around this product?
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't think there's too many people doing it. And obviously, like I said, you've got Australia coming, you've got America coming, you've got Singapore coming, and that's just countries that have been confirmed. There's there's countries, Dubai. There isn't an FM in Dubai. Who's to say that there's not going to be one in 2 years' time? There's nothing in New Zealand, Canada, India, the Philippines. You know what I mean? That's just off the top of my head. There are so many bloody countries that FM is not in, and I guarantee as soon as it takes off in Australia, like it has done here, it takes off in America. I mean, it's going to be even bigger than. It's going to be even bigger in America than it is here. And you wait till them other countries start clicking onto that and thinking, you know what, we want a piece of that pie. And it'll be, like, mark my words, it will be in every single country, like, over the next however many years. And Mr. FM himself, I don't know if you've seen the news thing. Sorry, I've got fluff on my nose. Was saying that they will invest as much as it takes. If it, you know, as they will keep up with the demand. They will keep up with the growth. They've got the room to expand. They've got the money to expand. So this company, I'm telling you now, this company is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. It is not going anywhere. Definitely. And I'm here for it. I'm so excited. You can probably tell. I'm buzzing.
Right. I wanted to ask you about vision boards, right? Because I still remember when you showed me your first vision board. Do you remember that with the little Mercedes and your drive? I still remember it. Like, yeah.
I think I've actually still. I haven't got it nearby because we're moving house. We've started to like pack bits away, and I don't know where all my old books and journals and stuff are. Yeah, my first ever. Julita told me to make one. I remember thinking she was mad. I was like, what? Why? What? I don't get it. What's the point? Anyway, I just thought I'd humour. I'd make one, and it was the most basic. It's literally a piece of A4 paper with 4 pictures that I'd printed off and stuck on. It was shit. Like, it was really shit, but it was mine, and I was happy with it. I had a Mercedes A-Class on there. I had a driving license because I hadn't passed my test. I had a house, a playroom for Ivy, and a picture. The best one was a picture of some credit cards with some scissors, like cutting the cards in half and put like debt free. By February, so 3-4 months after joining, I'd done them all. I was debt free. I paid every single penny, and that was the most amazing feeling ever. So I paid all my debt off. I'd passed my driving test, which I thought I'd never, ever, ever do. And I got a Mercedes A-Class as my first car, paid for by FM. Like, I was living the dream. The only thing left on the goal board was the house. That has always, always, always been the biggest goal for us, to buy my family a house. And I remember as well, the house that was on my first ever goal board was just a house. Like, I literally googled like 2-bed semi, like just an average. I didn't want anything over the top. I just wanted a bloody house that was mine, and I would have been over the moon with that. And then, like, if you look at my goal board now, the house has gone from like this to this. Like, it's crazy to look. It's mad to look back, actually. Like, I think we had a laugh about this, didn't we? Like the progress of my vision boards over time. And the funniest thing is, I remember doing that first ever vision board and feeling really, really greedy and being like, oh, like, am I asking for a bit much? Like, do you think I should expect a little bit less? And then, like, now I look back and think like, oh, that was minor. Like, as if I just wanted to, I think one of them I wanted to save like £5,000, and I'm like, now, like, to me, not that that's nothing, it's a massive amount of money, but compared to the money that I want to save now, like, that just seems silly. But then back then, that was massive. Like, it just shows the growth. And vision boards, if you've not got one, make one. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Like I say, mine was just a piece of A4 paper with some pictures. You can even, if you haven't got a printer, you can even cut them out of a magazine, but have something that's there, something to visualize. Because if you've seen it, I've got mine, I used to have mine at my desk, and if you're visualizing it every single day, it just makes it a bit more like a, you actually believe, you start to believe that you are going to get those things. I haven't got one at the moment because, funny story, I ordered a like pretty pink pin board to go with all my officey vibes off Amazon, thinking it was going to be, you know, like average size. It came and it was bigger than me. Like, it was absolutely massive. I probably should have read the description, but it was actually propped up against the wall, but it was blocking the window. So Jay was like, right, we're getting rid of that because you're taking all the light. So now I don't have a vision board, but I will get one as soon as we're in the new house and everything's all settled. Like, that will be a priority, because I do genuinely believe in vision boards. I think that they're great.
It's funny when you're not into the mindset stuff and somebody suggests it, you think, shut up, like, what am I going to do sticking?
Yeah,
you don't get it. But you know what,
I feel like I'm still not completely like into crystals and all of that, like a lot of people are. I believe a certain aspect of it, but my thinking is, if you want something, you're going to work for it. You're not going to manifest and sit there going, I'm going to be diamond, I'm going to be diamond, I'm going to be diamond, and you're going to be diamond. Like, you're not just going to hit diamond. You have to put the work in to hit diamond. But I do think that all of, you know, if people believe in it, then I've got nothing against that. And if they're happy. But me personally, I work a little bit differently. I'm not saying it doesn't work. You know, a lot of people swear by it, so it must work. But my thinking is, if you want something hard enough, you sit down, you make a plan of how you're going to get there, and then you get to work.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just me.
I think the guy from The Secret, I don't know, I watched it, and one of the guys in there, he's like a famous author, I forgot his name, but he made a vision board, and I remember him saying he cut a house out from a magazine and he stuck it on, and then many years later, when they moved the house, he took it out of his box, and he goes, I literally cried, because the house that was on the board was the house that he'd moved to. He literally manifested it. Honestly, and he said that for him was like, no, this stuff works. So
that's crazy. Like I say, I don't dispute that it works, but I also think that guy would have worked really, really hard to get that house. Yeah. I don't think he just would have woke up and gone, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to go and get that house. Like, he would have had to put the work in along the way. Yeah. To buy the house. You have to. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's an aspect of both. Yeah. That's what I'd say.
Looking at it every day is a reminder to yourself that, look, you need to get that. So that makes it hard.
100%. I'm feeling a bit shit today, like, I just want to chill. Yeah. No, Meg, you've set yourself a goal. You want to go and buy that house, or you want to go do that. Reminder. Get your ass up and go and do it. Yeah, 100%. Like, it does. It definitely, mindset is massive. Like, yeah, when you're self-employed, or when you are doing this kind of work, you have to be self-disciplined. Yeah. It would be so easy for me, because I haven't got a boss. I haven't got someone that is going to tell me off if I'm late, or tell me off if I phone in sick because I'm a bit hungover. Like, I haven't got that, so I need to give myself that kick up the arse. And the easiest way I find to do that is to set myself goals. If I know in my head, right, if I hit that next promotion, I'm going to get 20 grand, well, that can pay for my wedding dress. Or, I'm not saying I'm going to have a 20 grand wedding dress, I wish, but do you know what I mean? Like, actual, like, not everyone's monetary as well. Like, some people want to quit their job. If you say to yourself, right, I want to be a solid amaranth before I quit my job, because I know that I will earn X amount every month from being amaranth, when you're feeling a little bit like, oh, you know, this isn't working for me, like, oh, I don't know, if I'm having a bad day, blah, 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 you just think back to how bad's your day compared to how much you want to quit your job and how much you want to be your own boss. If you think you prefer this one, get to work, because we all have bad days, but you do have to be so self-disciplined, and it all comes down to how much do you want it. It's as simple as that.
On nicely to the, you know, the fame. I feel like there's a bit of a trend right now with the why. What is your why? What would you say? What's your why that literally gets you out of bed and makes you think, no, right, let's just do this?
I was actually funny, because I did a big thing on my stories today about everyone all the leaders having a different why, and what it's done for them. My biggest why will always be Ivy and Jay. Like, I just want to give them like everything. Like, my biggest why is Ivy. It will, on Jay, it will always be. And my second thing that's given me the biggest push this whole journey, like literally from day one, once we got our debts paid off, that was the main thing. Get the debts paid. Debts were gone. As soon as the debts were gone, I wanted a house. Like, that's always been the thing. We rent our house. We've always rented since we moved out, and I've always wanted a house. Like, that's my why. When we get our house, we're moving in 8 weeks, which will be like the best thing ever. I just want to make memories with Jay and Ivy. Like, I want to be able to go on holiday when we want. I want to be able to drop Ivy off at school and not have to send her to childcare, or I don't know, just like basically just live life on my terms, because I've had a boss. I had really nice bosses, actually, to be fair. They're all sound, but I can't think of anything worse now than someone telling me you need to be at work for 10 o'clock. You have your lunch break at 1 o'clock. You need to do this. You need to hit this target. You need to do that. Like, my biggest why is that I want to carry on working for myself. I don't ever want to have a boss again. I like doing my own thing. So if that means that I have to work when sometimes I don't want to, I mean, even being Amethyst Star and earning all this money, I do have bad days. I have days where I think, oh, you know, it is hard. Like, of course it's hard. Anything that's worth it is hard. But yeah, my biggest why was just to give Jay and Ivy everything, live life on my terms, not have to ever have a boss ever again, and to just be rich as fuck. Like, sorry for swearing, but yeah, basically I just want to be a baller.
Do you know what? Talking of Jay, I always just remember, what's his role in this business? Like, what's he like? Does he take part? Or does he
he does a bit. He's really good, like, with logistics, so he does a lot of like packing my parcels. I'm more like, I'm better with like training at the minute and helping my team, and the team's getting bigger by the day. Like, it's getting crazy, but it is getting crazy. So Jay does a lot of the packing. He goes to the post office for me. He all sorts. He makes me dinner when I can't get off my phone. He puts Ivy. He's very hands-on around the house. He's kind of like the mum in our family. Not like that, but you know, like, he does a lot more with Ivy than I do at the minute, because my work is so full on, especially over the next 3 months. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger because of Christmas. So Jay is incredible. He's my rock, and I genuinely don't think I'd either still be doing FM if it wasn't for Jay, and if I was, I don't think I'd be doing as well as I am now, because he's amazing. He's golden orchid as well, so he's pretty special. And he keeps telling me that he's going to overtake me soon. You're actually all under Jay, by the way. You're all in Jay's team.
Oh yeah, we are, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hey Jay, so I'm going to do a training with him next. I want him on.
He's pretty good. He's pretty clued up.
You know, I still remember you telling me Jay's dream job. Is it still the same? DPD driver?
DPD. Yeah, it's not his dream job, but yeah, he really wanted to be a DPD driver at one point, but yeah, we'll see. He's still working. I get asked all the time, like, does Jay still work? I'm like, yeah. Really? He loves his job. Yeah, he's working from home at the minute because of COVID, but yeah, Jay still works. You know, it's not that we need the money, but he loves his job, and that's fair enough. I don't expect him to give up everything because I'm doing well. Like, if he wants, but yeah, he's happy.
Good stuff. Right. Okay, so let's talk about upline leaders, okay? Because it's funny, because it's almost like you don't have an upline leader, because you never hear. Being honest, like, you meet people know who my upline leader is because I mention you a lot. But yeah, I genuinely don't know who your upline is, and I just want to ask you just to elaborate on how important is an upline leader.
So I do have an upline. She's still working the business. Her name's Jess. I've got no issue with Jess. I've got no qualms with Jess. I speak to her not really that often, but we just kind of do our own thing. When I first started, she, you know, like I say, she gave me the sample book to take into work. She showed me the ropes. She showed me how to use the website. She showed me how to sign people up. She gave me the basics. Like, she gave me what I needed to start. We had our own training group. We had like a joint group, like a training group. It was called Jess and Meg's Elite, Jess and Meg's Dream Team, I think it was called. And I don't know. It just, my team was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I wanted to be able to do my own incentives. I wanted to be able to. That's when I started seeing the potential of like, well, I could hit Pearl. You know, I'm earning all this money. Maybe I could quit my job. Like, and it started to kind of click like how big it was getting, and I just wanted to do things my own way. Nothing against Jess. Like, you know, she did nothing wrong to me. But I wanted my own Facebook group. I wanted to be able to do my own training. I wanted it to basically be my team. So I made my own Facebook group. And the one thing I do remember, actually, and I'm sure if this does end up on YouTube, I'm sure she won't mind me saying, Jess is very, I don't know what the word is, to the point. So if you asked her something and she found it to be a silly question, she'd probably be a little bit snappy. She didn't mean any harm, but that's just kind of her personality. So when we had this joint group, it wasn't planned, but it kind of ended up that Jess was bad cop and I was good cop. So I ended up getting a lot of messages like, I don't dare ask Jess because she'll bite my head off. And they ended up coming to me. And that's when it just got to the point where I was like, you know what, like, I'd rather just have my own group, like, keep it separate, do my own thing. So that's basically why. So I started my own group. I kind of found my own way of being a leader. Like, I was told things of how I should be and how I should talk to my team and how I should, you know, put pressure on people to do this and message people and blah, 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 blah. And I just didn't want to be like that. Like, the way that I've always thought of, and I still think of it to this day, is people don't join this business because they want a boss. They join this business because they want to be their own boss and they want to do something for themselves. So me being on your back, like, you need to do this, you need to do that, all it's going to do is push people away. So I just kind of found my own way of being a leader. I'm very, very chilled. Anyone who knows me knows I am very laid back. Like, you tell me you want to earn 50 quid a month, I'll tell you what you need to do to make it. If you tell me what you want to earn 5 grand a month, I'll tell you what you need to do to make it. Like, that's kind of how I work. So me and Jess, we kind of, for a long time, I'm not going to touch that because I don't want to turn it off, but for a long time we were kind of like teetering around the same level. So like, I'd hit amaranth, she'd hit amaranth, she'd hit golden, I'd hit golden, diamond, and we were just kind of like, we were always kind of the same level. So there was never really that need for me to have an upline because I knew what I was doing. I had my own team. I'd researched the compensation plan. I read the marketing plan. I dumbed it down and I watched a lot of YouTube. There's a lot of videos and a lot of helpful information on YouTube on the compensation plan, structures and how to make the most money, blah, 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 blah. So I basically did kind of like teach myself. Me and Jess had a few spats along the way, you know, who doesn't, girls, we're bitches. So we did have a few like, little tiffs. We didn't speak for a while, then we were friends again and blah, 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 blah. But like I say, I've got no issue with Jess. I think she's doing really, really well. I'm doing really, really well, but we just kind of, she looks after her team and I look after my part of the team. That's kind of it. I just wanted to keep things separate and I think it works. Like, I don't really need my upline doing trainings in my group for my team because I can do them. There's not really anything Jess knows that I don't know and vice versa. So that's basically why you probably don't know who my upline is. In terms of, has that affected me? No, not at all, because like when I started, I knew what I wanted from this business. When I saw the potential and I saw how much money I could make, I knew when I had that conversation with Jay and said, right, give me a year, I'll have our debts paid off. I knew what I wanted. So I knew that I had to make this work. And I think this is why I get pissed off in the elite group when people are like, oh, I've not got an upline, I don't know what to do, feel sorry for me. I didn't have an upline and I did okay. So not that I didn't have an upline, but I did my own kind of thing. So uplines are important, and again, you'll probably vouch for this, I've always been the sort of upline that will show you what to do. You know, I don't mind you asking me questions in the beginning because you're learning, that's fine. But I will hold your hand for maybe the first week, and then after that, you're on your own. Like, you can come to me at any point and ask me a question, but I also like to teach people to be like self-sufficient, to be independent and to go off, do their own, it's their business at the end of the day. Like, I can help you as much as I can, but I'm not there to do it for you. If someone asks me, when's 472 back in stock, I won't be like, oh, it's back in stock on Thursday. I will show them how to check the stock update. So next time they can look for themselves. Just things like that. And I feel like when you do things like that, not only are you helping that person to become the best version of themselves, but you are also making your own life easier. Because if every time someone asks you when something's back in stock, you've then got to take, I know it's only a couple of minutes, but you've got to do that. Imagine doing that on a mass scale. You've got 1,000 people in your team and every single one of them's asking you when something's back in stock. It's just, you're constantly like, oh, it's Thursday, oh, it's Tuesday, oh, it's Wednesday. Like, nobody wants to do that. So, sorry, I've just burped. Sorry. So if you show people how to do it themselves or show people where to find that information, you're going to make your own life easier in the long run. So that's how I was always do it, and that's how I would teach my team to do it as well. Yeah, basically. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm glad we touched on this, because I remember Eric Worre, who basically is the guru of MLM. There's a thing that he says. He says, when you join an MLM business, say goodbye to your upline. And I think that's the best. Not goodbye as in don't talk to them, as in don't let them spoon feed you, because you're never going to learn how to eat, or you know what I mean. And I find that people, like you said, they're always moaning about, well, that team's hey, why don't we have training every day? And the point is, it's not with you. I actually, honestly, like, I thank you so much. What you literally did was you showed me the ropes and then you let me go. You were never like, so then have you placed your order yet? Oh, do you know? It was never like that with us. Even when I said no to recruiting, you were like, that's fine. And then the next month you were like, babe, just recruit, trust me, just try it.
Yeah.
You never pushing me. I'll show you how to recruit. Use this post, write this in your, people want everything spoon fed. Oh, can you tell me what to write on this picture?
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't work. Just do it yourself.
No, it is hard, because on one hand you don't want to recruit someone and then be like, well, work it out yourself. You want to obviously help people, but then I feel like it comes to a certain point where you just kind of like, right, I've given you this, I've given you that, like someone wants to make a cake, like I've given you the bowl, I've given you the spoon, I've given you the flour, the sugar, the eggs, like I've given you literally the cooker, I've given you every single item that you need to make this cake.
Yeah. Off
you go and make the cake. Like, I can't make it for you. I've got my own perfect cake just here. Now you make your perfect cake. Like, that's kind of how it is. And it's amazing as well to see people that you've signed up and that you've trained or you've showed then become a leader in their own right. Like, you're a leader in your own right. You don't need me. Like, maybe the odd question here and there, but you've got it to a T. You know exactly what you're doing. Your leaders, like, they know what they're doing. My leaders, Hannah, Iona, like, and you see it being duplicated and you see it going down, and you're just thinking, like, you just feel proud. Like, you just feel so good about it, and it's an amazing feeling watching leaders become leaders, basically.
I mentioned Eric Worre. Are you a fan of any particular sort of MLM gurus, motivational speakers? Are you into that?
A bit, yeah. I try and catch as many as I can, but I feel sometimes it just gets a bit much. Like, I've been working all day, and then there'll be a live on at like 9:30, or well, not like that, but you know, like 8:30 and 9. I just think I just want to chill. I'll watch it tomorrow, and what I tend to do is I'll have a live on while I'm packing orders up, or while I'm washing up, or while I'm doing bits and bobs. So I'll be listening to it, but I won't really be proper, like, zoned in. One of my favourites is Fraser Brooks. Yeah. I absolutely love Fraser. I could watch him all day. I never get bored of him. I think he's great. The only thing I'd wish about Fraser was that he would maybe start doing a little bit more on Instagram, because a lot of his trainings are about Facebook, and Facebook's not really I'm Instagram through and through. I do love Fraser. I think he's brilliant. And a new one, who Holly had to do a training for us the other day, and then Meg McQuillan, James Lavelle. Yeah. I think he's quite like new to coaching. I'm not really sure, but he's good. I couldn't take my eyes off him. I was literally just like he gave me a kick up the arse I needed. He gave me loads of like fresh ideas, and I think he was great. Really, really good.
You know what, I was chatting to him on Instagram the other day to organise a training, and he said Megan's doing one on Tuesday.
It was Megan McQuillan. It was a Meg. There's two Megs, isn't there?
Yeah, I was confused because I thought, I'm sure you would have mentioned it. Okay, do you say the Meg? Good. Right, another thing I think, again, important to mention. So we always speak about the highs and, you know, when I hit this and that. If you had to name a low point in the business for you, what would you say?
Oh my God. There's been two. There's been 2 times where I nearly walked away. Really? Would you believe it? Wow. Yeah. The first one was quite early days, to be fair. That was Tangate, if you remember that. The Tan Accelerator, the first time. Again, I won't go too much into it because we'll be here all night. But we we were supposed to get loads of tans, and then they came, and people had gone mad. Like, people had pre-orders for like 300 of these tans, and the site, it was the first time the site, like, obviously it happened quite a lot in lockdown, didn't it? But before that, it never happened before, and people were crying, people were ringing me in tears, people were ringing me swearing at me, like I had any control over the website whatsoever. But anyway, and that's when it kind of hit me, and I realised that at that point, I think I was Amaranth maybe, and I had a team of like 500, and even then I was like, this is getting too big. Like, I can't be responsible for this amount of people. I can't be responsible for somebody sobbing down the phone because she can't pay her rent because she spent the money, or, you know, whatever it was. And it just really, really hit me. And I remember ringing my dad and just being like, I can't do this. And my dad was like, well, what's the alternative? I'd already quit my job. What's the alternative? Do you want to give your Mercedes back and go back to work? I was like, no. And he was like, well, pull your finger out then and sort your shit out. But that was a low point. Looking back now, I absolutely laugh at myself, like how pathetic it was. But at the time, I thought it was the worst thing in the world. And then the second low point, not many people will believe this or know about this, but I'm happy to share, was June this year. The month that I hit Amethyst, I'd set myself the goal. I was working towards Amethyst, like I was building and building and building, ready for June. Like, I originally was going to go for it in November, but because lockdown had been so busy and the months were getting bigger and so many people were joining, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give it my all in June. And I did get it, and it was literally one of the best days of my life when I hit it. I've never felt so proud. But the month that, like the run up to me hitting it, my eczema was flaring up on my skin, my spots on my skin was really bad. I wasn't sleeping, I wasn't eating. I was literally on my mum and dad thought, and Jay all thought I was on the verge of a mental breakdown, because I was just working, like I was literally working myself, making myself ill, because I was so focused on this promotion. And yeah, I nearly walked away from it all, because it was just so, I think I basically did just put too much pressure on myself. Like, I don't think I was ready to hit Amethyst then. I think maybe I should have waited till November and let it happen a little bit more naturally. But I was just so like adamant that I wanted it, that I did allow myself to get ill thinking about it, which looking back now is ridiculous. But you know, it is what it is. I was so determined to be the best. I was so determined to like get this new promotion and whatever. But yeah, it was a really, really shitty month. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. I think when I hit it, it did kind of make it worth it. But then if I could go back in time and do it again, would I? No.
Yeah.
No. So it was a massive low point.
Because I remember after that incident, you had a bit of a chill about you, because you were just like, you know what, I'm content with where I'm at. It's all about organic growth. I'm just gonna, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that you could see that your vibe.
Yeah, I remember actually after I hit Amethyst, I got a message from Luke Holdaway, just saying like, are you going to start going for Malachite? And like maybe go for Malachite before November. And I was like, you know what, I'm not. Like, I'm so content being Amethyst or even being Jasper. Like, I'm so happy with that. And I know that I can hit Jasper. I can hit Jasper organically. Like, my leaders are in place, my legs are in place, I've got my structure set up. I know that I can hit Jasper without really having to, you know, I'm not saying I don't need to work. Like, I do need to work, but I don't need to work to the point of making myself feel that shit again. And Amethyst, I feel like over the next couple of months, Amethyst will be happening organically as well. So maybe in the future I will look at getting to Malachite, but I'm just so about organic growth now. Like, I don't want to be. It literally got to the point where like my friends would text me and be like, oh, do you want to go for lunch, or do you want to, like, my mum would say, do you want to do this, or Jay would be speaking to me and I would be ignoring him because I was just so like focused on my phone, and I was just missing out on so much stuff. And like Jay actually hit the nail on the head. He was like, you know what? He was like, you're earning all this money. He was like, but you're not enjoying it. Like, you're not spending it. You're not going shopping. You're not getting your hair done. Like, you're not spending time with your friends. You're not doing anything that you're not enjoying it. And it started to take away my love for FM, because I was working, but I wasn't getting. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I feel awful saying that, because hitting Amethyst was a massive high and it was a massive perk. But like, no, I would rather work maybe a little bit less and just be not just be Jasper, because Jasper's still amazing, but just be Jasper and go on holiday for a month. Like in September after lockdown and all the stress of everything, I had a month off because that's what I felt like I needed. And that 1 month when I was away, I didn't give two shits what level I hit because I was enjoying myself. Like, and I think well, this is it. Like, you join a network. One of the reasons I want to do network marketing is because I want time freedom. But at that point, I didn't have time freedom. So,
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna bring this one in, but what would you say is your monthly average earning, and also what reaction do you get when you tell people, as in people that aren't in MLM?
Oh my God, it's crazy. On average, for Jasper wage, I'm consistently getting Jasper at the minute, so I'm going to do it off that. So it's probably mine and Jay's accounts together. It's about 45, 50 a month.
What pounds?
50, yeah, 1,000.
When you text me, £45.
And then when I'll share with you, I'm more than happy. I've got nothing to hide. When I hit Amethyst, the month that I hit Amethyst, all of my accounts combined, I got just under £90,000. So, like, that would have took me 5 years to earn in my old job, and I earned that in a month. So it was stressful. It was worth it, like so worth it, but it was stressful. But yeah, like this is like I remember telling my dad. And my dad was like, "No way, never." Like, no. And I literally had to show my dad my bank statement for him to be like, "That's more than a brain surgeon earns." I was like, "I know, selling perfume, it's not bad, is it?" But yeah, it's crazy. People don't believe you, and I think, to be honest, if it wasn't me that it was happening to, I wouldn't believe it. Like, it's absolutely nuts, the money that you can make in network marketing, and that's why I get so annoyed when people are like, "Oh, it's such a scam." I'm like, how's it a scam? Show me where it's a scam. Yeah, it's the best thing ever. I love it. And I think the thing that I love most about FM and network marketing in general is that it's a level playing field. Like, I had no experience whatsoever. You had no experience whatsoever. You know, somebody who joins tomorrow has no experience whatsoever. We all start at the bottom. Like, we all start in the exact same place. We've got the exact same products, the exact same compensation plan. Nobody's got unless you've got, you know, people who've maybe got a little bit of a bigger following have probably got a bit more of an advantage, or people who've got a lot of friends have probably got a little bit of advantage. But with the right training, if you take on board the tools and all the lives and all the things that the leaders do, there is no reason whatsoever that you cannot be successful. Like, that's how I see it.
Definitely. I'm going to wrap it up and just leave it with the last question. What's a good piece of advice would you give to people that want to smash this business? Besides the obvious stuff, but like,
take the good with the bad, and don't give up. Like, don't give up on a bad day, basically. Like, if you have a bad day or a bad week or even a bad month, you know, we all have them, believe me. Don't give up, because think about it this way: if you give up, like, I've had girls who've stopped and they've since come back. Like, Elise came back I think it was just under a year later. Paige came back about 6 months later. And if you ask both of those girls what their biggest regret was, it was that they gave up and they wished that they could go back to when they were doing it in the first place and carried it on, because they're both, I think Paige is Amaranth and Elise is Pearl. But if they'd have carried on all of that time, where would they be now? Like, not just them. Like, think of it this way: the time's going to pass anyway. So this time next year, that year's still going to pass, regardless of whether you're doing FM or you're not. What's the worst that can happen? Give it a year, see what happens. But yeah, I just wouldn't give up, because you don't know how close you are to something incredible happening. Like, there's people in the team who've been, I'm just talking about people in the team, not even just myself, but like people who've been, so they've been hitting 6% constantly, 6%. And they're literally like, "Oh, I'm never going to get anywhere. Like, I just can't get past 6. 2 months later, they're bloody Pearl Orchid. Like, you don't know how close you are to actually getting that big thing that you've been wanting for so long. So yeah, I just don't give up, basically, because you might just regret it.
It just takes that one little firecracker under you, and that's it. You're off, isn't it? That's all.
It's a firecracker, or I think of it this way: you could literally have 2 people in your team. You could sign up 2 people, and you could hit Pearl.
Yeah.
Because let's just say you sign up Bob, who hits 21%. He's really, really good. He's absolutely amazing. He hits 21%. And then you sign up Lee, who's really, really good. Not quite as good as Bob, but he's really, really good. And he hits 18%. Well, you're Pearl, and you ain't done nothing. That's literally how easy it is.
fantastic. I think people get really caught with numbers. Oh, she's got 10,000 people under her, no wonder she's smashing it. But there are, like, you could equally do it with a few people. It's not even about the quantity.
There was just one question, I know, really quickly, because I know you want to wrap it up, but I've seen a few comments come through. I've not been able to read them because I can't see, but I don't know if you want to quickly scan through, see if you missed anything.
Yeah, no, definitely. Someone's just asking, how many people do you have under you?
In my team, there's just over 30,000. However, there is not 30,000 active. Like, so many people join, either do it for a couple of weeks and give up, or people sign up and never do anything. Yeah. I would say active, like people who are actually working the business, actually selling, actually like promoting, I'd probably say 10,000. But then again, a lot of them are under J, so it's really hard to kind of explain that it's all well and good having loads of people under you, but all that matters really is kind of like where they are. And because so many of my team are under J, it doesn't really benefit me at all of those people being under J. So I'm not saying it's a waste, because I still absolutely love having a big team. I love helping as many people as possible. I love getting tagged in your Instagram posts and getting your messages and things like that. So I do love it. But yeah, it doesn't really matter as much how many people you have, I wouldn't say. It's more about the people that are working and where those people that are working are kind of placed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need to suggest to Anita or someone, we need an option where you can just delete people off. You know, when you've got like a block.
I know. I have suggested, well, apparently after 12 months of being inactive, like, they come off your tree anyway. But I was like, that's not true, because I've got people on mine that I signed up, like, right at the beginning that are still on there. So I don't know. But yeah, it was so much easier if they just got wiped, because it just makes my tree look messy.
Yeah. Also, actually, I know we are going to finish, but one thing, right, is people always speak about the money and that side of things, but what would you say you've gained as a person besides the bank balance? What's the main thing?
Bank balance. Friends, like, absolutely amazing friends. I've got my it sounds bad saying actual friends, but like my before FM friends that I still love. I still spend loads of time with my before FM friends, but I've got loads and loads of FM friends now. Girls and boys that just hype you up. Like, you post a selfie and the first to comment it, like, oh, you look gorgeous, or just honestly, like, the friendships I've made. Hannah O'Malley, I didn't know her before this. Speak to her every single day. It was her birthday a few weeks ago. I drove down to Stansted to go and spend her actual birthday with her. Like, she didn't want to spend her actual birthday with her friends. She wanted to spend it with the FM friends. Like, it's just the friendships, I would say. I've got amazing friends. The fun as well. Like, you probably noticed through this live, I try and be professional, but I'm not. Like, I'm typical Leicester girl. And it's just having fun. Like, it gives me something to do. I genuinely enjoy it. I love the friends that I've made, the confidence it's given me, and it's made me believe that I'm actually good at something. Because before FM, I was always like, I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't act, I can't sew, I can't draw, I can't do makeup. Like, there's literally like nothing that I was really, really good at. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, I am fucking good at this. And people message me asking for my advice or my help, and I'm like, yeah, I am good at this. But yeah, just confidence as well. Like, confidence, friendships, and the fun that comes with it. Like, I absolutely love it. I love meeting people face to face as well. I know obviously this year didn't quite go to plan because of COVID, but we move. Next year will be better.
I bet you one of the highlights for you was being on that stage. Remember that at the FM conference?
Oh my God, that was the scariest moment of my entire life. I thought I was going to pee my pants. I thought I was going to shit my pants. I was sweating. I was shaking. I remember, like, like watching it back. I think it might have been your recording actually, and you can hear my voice going like I literally sound like I was going to burst into tears any second. It was scary, but then afterwards I was so glad that I did it. But yeah, never again, ever. If she asks me again, I'll just be like, no, thank you. Let someone else do it.
Yeah,
it's scary. It's just scary. Like, I can't explain. It was amazing. It was a great feeling afterwards. But Jesus Christ, it was no, thank you. Never again.
Zoomy.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you, Megan. I'm going to let you go. But
no problem.
Amazing, and all I can say is just carry on doing what you're doing. You're pretty bloody brilliant at it, as you say. And
thank you.
I'm sure we'll be chatting.
No probs. Right, I'm going to shoot because I don't know what time it is. We've been on here ages, haven't we? Yeah. Sorry if I've bored you all or I've gone on too long, but yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And I think Celia's going to pop this on YouTube anyway, so we can all watch it another time if we like. I don't think I will because, you know, don't really want to watch myself back. But yeah, love you all. Bye bye.
Okay, my love. Bye bye.
Oh,